Hello everyone, my name is Volodya and I'm glad to be here today to talk about my new paper called GIRAFF, Reverse Auction-Based Placement for Fog Functions. So before really getting into the presentation itself, I introduce a bit of context around what is the fog and what kind of functions I'm referring to here, and then we'll just go with the normal and usual stuff. So in order to illustrate the fog, I want you to consider a small use case, which is the monitoring of a volcano. So for this, we have hundreds of sensors that are around this volcano. So I'm talking about ground sensors, cameras, and other things. And we want to monitor this volcano on this island. So in 2023, the way to do this is to just send all the data directly to the cloud. So you can see that this is really not that efficient because, well, most of the data is actually useless, and we end up using a lot of bandwidth, and we cannot really take any decision because the time that it takes to send the data to the cloud and do the processing, well, we cannot really, for instance, send a recalibration of the sensor or stuff like this. So in order to fix this, we introduce the use of the fog, which is an idea in which we put computing power in between the data producers and the cloud. And so this is done through the use of single board computers, such as Raspberry Pis, or even the use of computing resources that are available, for instance, in small companies in most of the towns nowadays. So this will enable this kind of hardware will enable us to run applications that will be able to pre-process most of the data. So we'll be able to filter it and even compress it before sending it to the next fog node or to the cloud. So it means less bandwidth usage in the end. This also means that this application will be able to make decisions rather quickly, and thus, for instance, recalibrate our sensor much quicker than if we had to go to make the data go to the mainland and do it in the cloud. However, we are here dealing with with various devices and with a lot of constrained devices. So we have to take this into account, and we also have to, well, execute something on the fog node. So we have to find a paradigm to do this. So we could go the classical way with either our monolith or our microservice running and taking the whole fog node to do so. But you can see that this is really not ideal, and this is just an underutilization of our resources here. A much more smarter way to do this is to divide our application into smaller independent units, usually stateless, and this is called the function as a service. And by doing so, we'll be able to distribute the functions on different fog nodes, and thus we'll be able to maximize the utilization of those fog nodes. The idea is that functions are also able to be executed only when there is data to be processed. So most of the time, they will be shut down and will not use any resources. Also, we can host multiple functions from different applications together on the same fog node. Thus, we can maximize the utility of any fog node. However, we have to take care of how to place those functions while still respecting their CPU, RAM, and latency demand. Here, latency is about the delay between the data production and the time at which the data arrives to the fog node in order to be processed. So this is something that we can measure and take into account in our placement algorithm. Also, we are trying here to deal with a large-scale fog network. So it means that we have to involve multiple different providers that have to cooperate into some way. And one of the best way to make someone cooperate with you is by making him earn a bit of money. And to do so, we'll incentivize the providers to actually join our fog network through the use of auctions and through the use of the trusted marketplace. We still have our client in the equation here, which will be represented by the client, by an application running in the cloud, which we call the client representative, which just executes a policy to provision and unprovision functions, or actually to ask to make the demand to the marketplace to do so. So if we go back to our volcanic scenario, we now have one of our sensors that has detected an anomaly. And we have the function that pre-processes this data that actually forwards this data to the client representative in order to take an action. This action is to actually deploy a new function to gather the data from all the sensors and be able to locate the anomaly and send a drone to inspect it. So in order to provision this function, the client representative will issue what we call an SLA, which stands for Service Level Agreement. This is a contract that describes the RAM, CPU, and latency requirements of the function for it to run nominally. This SLA is sent to the marketplace, which sends it in turn to a fog node, which forwards it to other fog nodes until the latency constraint is broken. And then each fog node will be able to place a bid on this SLA. So the bid is actually the cost of running the function. So every bid will be collected back to the marketplace, where the auction will be held, and well, the client will pay the winner the money, and the winning node will provision the function. And so our function will do its job, meaning that it will gather the data from all the sensors, process it, send it to the cloud, and um, also guide the drone to the correct location live. So if we go back to GIRAFF now, we make two main contributions with our placement method. The first one is that we manage to place functional service applications in the fog with SLAs, and we also make sure to have strict guarantees on the quality of service, especially on the latency part. And the second contribution is that we have a way to incentivize multiple different providers to share their resources in the same fog network. Of course, the fog is only an extension of the cloud, so we can reuse much of the same technology and same softwares. So we reuse containers, Kubernetes, and OpenFast to do so. Since we've chosen to run a real life version of the fog, well, we have to find somewhere to run it, and this somewhere is in France on Grid 5000. And since we are dealing with a lot of different, a lot of fog nodes and stuff like this, we try to make it both reproducible and manageable at scale. So we use NICs to achieve this. So here is an overview of our experimental setup. You can see that it's pretty much the same as it was as I explained. The only thing that changes is that we submit SLAs at random interval times to the marketplace, which will do the auctioning and provisioning stuff, and then we load test and measure every function actually. And so this gives us this kind of results. So this first slide focuses on showing that GIRAFF is as good as the other two baselines, or actually as good as the best performing baseline on each of those graphs. So here we can see that in terms of the ratio of place functions, we are indistinguishable from the other two baselines. And in terms of the number of time we broke our SLAs, well, we do as good as the best performing baseline in this case. Another advantage of GIRAFF is that we managed to reduce client spending, especially for high latency functions, and we can manage even for high latency and low load functions to reduce it by threefolds. So high latency functions are actually the functions that which have a latency that allow them to run in the cloud or closer to the cloud. So it costs less for our clients to use GIRAFF to run those functions. For low latency functions, you can see that for the two baselines that actually look at the SLA and respect this SLA, well, you have to pay more, which is kind of logical since you want actually a better latency. So you have to pay a bit more for this. Also, GIRAFF does not come really free. We have to make compromises. And one of the biggest compromises that you can make with GIRAFF is that we have to use an initialization phase during which we do the auctioning and stuff like this, during which the chatter occurs on the network. And so it takes time. So by default, it takes around 300 milliseconds in those experiments, and it can go much higher with higher latency functions that that require more chatter between more fog nodes. So in order to conclude, we make two main contributions in this paper. The first one is that we introduce a reverse auction placement method for functional service in the fog. This method can end up reducing the client spending by threefolds. We also make sure, and this is really important, to respect strictly the SLAs that we accept in our fog network. And the other contribution is that we made a large-scale testbed to run the fog in real life with real-life fog applications, and that all of this is reproducible even on your laptops. If you want to do this, you have to just follow the GitHub. Currently, my ongoing work is to add function chaining to the platform, and this actually has been already done. And we are focusing now on more realistic workloads in order to be able to compare GIRAFF with state-of-the-art placement approaches, and even measure different stuff occurring on the network or even on the OS running on the fog nodes. So thank you for listening to me. Do you have any questions?